if you have to make sheet metal patches for places on a car like this, this might be a helpful video to you. Today we're making patches for stitches. Or are we making stitches for patches? No, wait a minute. Patches is Fitzy's car. This is stitches. So we're making patches. Today we got a couple spots in the wheel well here we need to get finished up. And then this car is pretty much ready to get off the rotisserie. We got a couple other little things to do, but I'm hoping in another week this thing is back on its wheels. So today we're making patches. Stick around. I'm Mike and you're watching Mike R's Shop. So we have to kind of get a feel. We're going to start with this one here because this is the most complex. And quite frankly, I don't care if we make it perfect. I just want to make it done. But I wanted to mention that even if you do make patches all the time, I find it helpful to see how somebody else does something so that it can inspire me and to see things differently, or at least be something that's like, I definitely wouldn't do it that way. So stick around, like I said. We have a line that comes down here. We have a line that comes across here, and then we have a curvature that goes in here. So I'm going to do the right thing and probably not put any of that in. I'm not going to just pop rivet a pop can in here either. I just need to determine how big I want to make that. And obviously we need to have some of these curves in here. So rather than cutting out and trying to fit, we're not going to do that. But we're going to get a piece of tin. We'll probably use 18 gauge here, maybe 20 gauge. We'll see what I got kicking around and try to come up with something that's reasonable. We're going to make our patch to fit over this as best as we can, and then we'll trace it and we'll cut it out. And I'm not caring about whether or not this is a perfect cut and butt. We may leave it as a overlap weld with some plug weld holes. I'm not sure yet. We're going to kind of figure it out as we go. So you can offer your ideas as I'm going here. Just feel free to pipe in and say something. Okay, I think this is 18 gauge here. This will work. And we're going to need a piece, it's about 3 or 4. That's too small. That's probably just about right. Okay, so let me get my beautiful Milwaukee marker. Wow. Can't speak English today. I'm going to make my patch a lot bigger than it needs to be. That probably needs to be more like this, and then like this. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so not this line, but this line right here. So we're going to get our cutter out and cut her out. Okay, I just used tin snips to cut that. I think our next step here is to try to come up with a game plan to get her to kind of fit down in there like so. Yeah, our edge is off a little bit, but it'll be fine. It's actually not doing too bad right there. Yep, our edge is off here, just a nova, but we'll be all right. Okay, so we gotta kind of figure that out now. We got way more metal than we need, obviously, but we're okay there. So many compound curves. We may need to make this in more than one piece, but I'm going to try not to. Okay, there we go on that. So I'm just going to nip that in the bud. Tin snips, I'm telling you, simple. And so we just got to figure out where our bends are now. So there's a bend in right here, so I'll put a line right there. And that bend kind of comes down into here somewhere. Okay, so we can transfer those lines onto here and here. And then we're going to just kind of artistically guess where this one is coming down into here. That's pretty close. Okay, so we got a sharp bend up there. And then this has got to go back. So I got to figure out the best way to do that. I think the best way to do this is going to be splitting this right here and hoping we land right where I want to be. Can already tell you our angle of the dangle is definitely not correct. Maybe we are all right. Yep, I think we're okay. So we're going to cut this right in here. Just a straight line down, and that'll give me the ability to bend these separate. And then we're going to be cutting a bunch of this off anyway. So always make your patches bigger than you need, and then start snuggling into it. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I get that a lot of guys like to use plasma cutters and grinders and electric cutters, and I use all that stuff depending on what I'm doing. But when I'm making little accurate patches like this, I personally just like using tin snips. Old school. It's the cool school. Makes you drool. Not a fool. Better stop rhyming. I'm nickel and diming. Let's get this put on there. So I want to make a small cut here, but it's got to be cut from this side. And how do you transfer that line here from here to the back side and get it accurate? Well, it's not as hard as you might think. I'm just going to come back here to where the curve ends and drill a hole. Now I know exactly from that point to that point. It's exactly where my line is on the other side, see? And if you have a compound line on the other side, you can go through and drill all kinds of points, and then you'll be able to just connect the dots, play dot to dot with it. So it's the simplest way to do it. But I want to cut this from here to here. So maybe I can do that with my snips. In fact, I'm going to try that first. Let me go grab my snips again. Might be able to get in there and do it. I'm going to have to bend the metal a little, but got to kind of bend it anyway, so it don't really matter. Yep, I can. I can get right in there. Well, maybe not. Yep, I can. Just going to have to radius just a little bit, but perfect. Okay, see, so now we got a nice little cut. I knew exactly where to make it, right on the line. See how we did that? Within a 16th or an 1/8, it's fine. So drilling holes for transfer is a great way to do that. So now let's take this back to the car, and we got a bend in here and a bend in here, and then we're kind of automatically making our bend in here because of the cut. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works. Okay, we have an issue here. Thing 2. Say hi to Thing 2, everybody. She's in the way, so we got to move her out of our way. We have Thing 1 and Thing 2, by the way. Okay, so that's good. And our line, we get us lined up there. And then we can bend that one that way a little on that line. And then we can bend that one that way a little bit on that line. Yeah, that'll work pretty good. See what that line looks like on the inside there. What is it? Okay, it's just underneath the seatbelt bracket right there. So gonna be fun. You are a pain in the butt. Right back on my stool again. Huh? You are. Mm-hmm. Okay. She's right on my lap now. You probably can't see her. Okay, so in here, like so-ish. We went a little too far, which is perfect. That gives us the opportunity to kind of work it down in there. Okay, and then this is the same way. We need to bend that one so much. And I'm just about ready to just clamp this in place here somewhere if we can, and then hammer form it into place. But we're coming along. And the nice thing about it is we're not going to be keeping all of that metal. We're going to be getting rid of a bunch of it. But I'm just trying to get it kind of, you know, put in place. So. Oh, they are so funny. All right, I got to find a clampy spot. Probably right there. Let me go get my clampers. And I'm sure the cat will take my chair again. Yep. You are persistent. Let's put you over here on the Forsyth. I know it's not as warm, but okay. So I have not called attention to these yet, but my good friend, my band partner of 43 years, piano, Scott, bought me these a while ago, and I haven't used them yet because I haven't been doing much fabricating, but they're way better than anything I've ever had before. So thanks, buddy. Maybe I can get them out of the package. Maybe I can't. I'll use these because they're better quality than what I have, and mine were just cheap imports. So let's leave it at that. We can't say, you know, what we used to say anymore because those terms aren't acceptable. Ask me if I care. Okay, so anyway, these will have a lot more, because they're Vice Grip brand, they'll have a lot more squeeze and accuracy than my cheap ones. So hopefully it'll work. My concern is the jaw may be too big, but nope, I think we'll be all right. Put those down, pick these up. So what I want to do is kind of hammer form this, if I can. Yeah, I could use a little more squeeze. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, my line there's good. My line there is actually pretty good. We'll just grind that edge off. I ended up being a little bit off, but we're okay. Then we can start hammer forming this in place, and then we can use our clecos to hold it in place, or we can just tack it. But we're getting there. So if I had a hammer, I'd hammer on the patch. I don't have a hammer. I gotta go get one. Bet you the cat comes back the very next day. Well, surprisingly, I was wrong. She stayed over there. So I love this little stool. It was just a stool sample I found on the side of the road. Okay, so I'm going to get a cleco and put it up in here and put one down in here and help hold that in place and make it a little easier to form. I think I'm just going to have to surrender. I'll be right back. Come on, thing two. Here, you have your chair there, okay? You can watch from over there. You'll be all right. It's probably the warmth of my butt, but okay, let's get this drilled up in here. Hopefully that was the right size drill bit. I forgot to check. I just grabbed it. That works. Oh, you skeezicks. Okay, we'll get one more. I'll be right back. So it's pretty close. So now that I've got it sort of formed, I want to take it back out again, and I want to determine where I'm going to cut it off, up in here, etc. I may not. I may just leave it overlapped. Once it's welded up, it'll never rust behind it as long as it's sealed good. So I do see I'm a little bit proud right there. There we go. So we do have a seat belt mount that's behind here, so that's going to complicate things a little bit, but I think what I'll do to make my life a little simpler, I'm going to take some paint and just spray this real quick, and that'll give me exactly the outline of where this fits. I know by my holes, but what the paint will do is allow me to see where I want to cut and where I don't want to cut as far as where the rust is behind. I think that's going to make the most sense. So there. Now we know exactly where our patch is going to be when we take this out of there. It'll be very clear cut. So let's do that. And my cat is back the very next day. Okay, so let's pull our cleat hose out. Am I doing it right? Boom. Then you see exactly where our patch is. Perfect. Okay, I got decisions to make because I can see my spot welds for the bracket are there. So I think I know what I'm going to do here. I'm definitely going to be cutting this rust out over here. This patch is probably going to stay about that big. All this rust down here has got to go probably over to here. This side, I think I'm going to cut this off down in here. We've got lots of, I can almost cut it. Probably almost cut it right on that line. So that's part of this, but I want to get this cleaned up and make some decisions. Okay, I did a little hammer and dolly work because I had a few hammer dents in here, and ground it up, of course, on both sides so it's nice and clean. I know that my edge down here is wrong, so rather than trying to mark that with a marker because it's so hard to get at, that should do us right there. So that's good. We'll trim that off, and I think we're going to go ahead and come along here, find the marker, and trim that off on that line because there's nothing above that, I believe. We'll double check that, but there's nothing above that line there that's going to be an issue as far as rust. And then I can stay out of that seat belt bracket. So our patch will be from here up and over. So we're going to cut some rust out from behind this just to get rid of that oxidization that's in there. But first I want to get my patch finished up. So let's make sure that my line transferred over here okay. And then we can cut that off to match this edge. Okay, we're looking good. I just got to tap this in. That's going to be perfect. My piece of metal here did end up coming up just a little bit, but I think that's okay. I'll probably weld it down there anyway, so I think that worked out. Gotta get in there. Just stretch that metal in. There we go. Yeah, it looks really good. Okay, let me address this. Okay, address that up. Okay, we're ready to take this out. We're going to go ahead and get this patch painted on both sides. And get our rust cut out of here. So this is pretty much what our patch is going to look like. This isn't structural, it's cosmetic and practical. So that's the nice thing about this one. This is a technique that I've used on a lot of cars to make things. I'm not being super anal about getting everything perfect by any means. If this was a high-dollar car, I'd be spending more time on it. But our philosophy around here is in the context of the project, make it safe, make it done, and have fun. I'm having fun. Are you? I hope so. I hope you're learning something. I hope you're looking at your own project going, hey, I can do this on my project, because that's my point in sharing this. It's not about me. Oh, looky what I'm doing. That's not what it's about. I'm sharing what I do so that you can take away and do on yours. Got everything cut out, got it all rust treated, got to wait for it to dry. My patch is in the oven baking right now. So we'll be able to Cleco this in here as soon as that dries and then let the rest of this dry. Then we'll have to go around and clean up where we're going to weld, but it should be good. Yeah, everything should be good there. So winner chicken dinner. I'm going to put probably put some plug weld holes along the bottom. Other than that, I think I'm just going to edge weld it. The only reason I'm going to do that is because down here, this is part of that where the seat belt mount goes into the frame, so it's a safety issue. I want to be sure that's in there good. Other than that, it's already spot welded in up here. I didn't cut any of that stuff out, so just to reinforce it a little bit down here will be good. So as soon as that dries, we'll get that done. This is going to take a while. We're getting there. That's the point. Let's check the cookies. Yep, it's still wet. It's getting there. Probably another 10 minutes. The dry time using this oven, which is what I've had it in the shop for years, only recently got it going. Thanks, Chris. I can cut my dry time down. Like normally that would take 12 to 24 hours. I can get this done in half an hour. So it's huge. I put it in. I got it in there at about 300 degrees. Any more than that, and I find that it can tend to bubble a little bit. So I just have to be really careful about it. But yeah, it works. There we go. Patch is all made in place. All we got to do is weld it. I'm going to leave it like that. I thought I was going to tack weld it with my TIG or my MIG welder, but being as I got it like that, it'll be easy enough once that paint is all dry. Go through, clean it up, get it welded in. I'll drill my holes down here, and that'll be it. So I'll come back to this in a few days for you on this video, but it's going to be, today is Saturday, so probably Wednesday or Thursday next week before I can get to finish this video up. Don't normally do that. It's about spending the day here in the shop, but I'd like you to see this project through to completion. But I think that patch looks amazing. So I've got a little bit of patch work to do up here. I'm going to do this with Pour 15 patch. I will weld a little metal patch in here. And I've got to do a little bit of work in here to get this attached. The trunk floor is not attached properly to the inner wheel lip here. So that's coming. But we'll get back to this one soon, and you'll see this project wrapped up. So yeah, I think that patch looks great. I think it's standing out there, or outstanding. Well, there you go. All patched up, welded up. This has got undercoating in the wheel well. I shot the rest of the bottom of the car with bed liner, so that's done. Just got to wait for this to dry. This is a paintable undercoating, so eventually we will shoot in here with something. Not going to do that now because we'll just get tons of overspray all over everything when we paint the car. So we will go back with Rust-Oleum satin black and shoot all that up at a later time, but I think it looks really good. Got that patch welded in, all dressed up, and then seam sealed it. I don't care if it looks perfect. I just want it to look done. That was the last patch for this phase of the project. The next video you see should be getting this car off of the rotisserie. Let me show you what I've done. I've done some stuff, is what I'm saying. I know you've seen my rear end before, but there's the rear end housing all painted up. There are the spring perches, the spring shackles, the spring plates, and over here we've got our U-bolts, spring bolts for the shackles, front spring mounts, I should say. That's everything that we need to put it in except for the shocks, which I don't have at this point, and that's fine. I did find another set of U-bolts upstairs. These are new ones. I found a good set of used ones also. These are squeezed down a little bit tight. I got to stretch those back out to fit the 3-inch axle, but it's a winner chicken dinner on that. So yeah, I think. Oh yes, and I've got 2 of my rallies all cleaned up, and I put different tires on these rims. So these are really dry cracked, but they'll be good enough for the shop. For now, they hold air. See, this one's really dry cracked. These are the tires that I had on the front of my GTS. Those things are probably, I don't think I'd be lying if I said they were 20 plus years old. I see. Oh yeah, they would be. Now, Chris is going to be here tomorrow. He's going to help me get this off of the rotator. It's going to be on its wheels in the next episode, unless there's some catastrophe we're not aware of. I'm actually excited to get the rest of the car in black, maybe bolt some doors on again, put the deck lid on, mount the bumper, the tail lights, all that stuff, but I don't know if I'll do it. If I do it, it's just going to be for fun. But it's been a long time coming. I think this has been on the rotisserie for 3 years. So it's been a job of work to get this done. I'm probably going to do a recap video from day 1 up until today when we take it off the rotisserie, till tomorrow probably. So we'll see if I do that. You'll see that. That'll be a longer, probably a 1-hour episode or so. Obviously the car's not going to be done, but it would be cool. I can't wait to roll it out the door. All right, that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate you being here. Like, share, subscribe. We have channel memberships for as little as $5 per month, up to any amount you want. If you want to help support the channel and get access to behind the scenes and members only content, that's the way to do it. And one more thing, it's important. Don't forget.